In a desperate bid to fix their mistake, the factory dabs superglue on the end of a shiny steel rod and then affixes the ruined diamond to it, hoping this will confuse buyers into thinking it's one giant diamond. To turn this pulp into gold, you need a specific chemical cocktail: pasteurized earth, powdered fire, dried water, concentrated wind, and of course, sodium nitrate. This mix, called 10-lap Niet Pack, helps cleanse the gold of any looters and polluters when it's being smelted. A worker then tests that the alignment of all the gun parts is correct, using a special rod that also helps him try to alleviate his sexual frustration. Half the production line receives chocolate ice cream, and the other half receives Elmer's glue. Part of the fun is finding out which flavor you get. And after just a couple weeks, a man-made diamond is ready to be sold to people who, like Neanderthals, think a very shiny rock is actually worth something. He ruins it by engraving his gamertag on the frame, as well as stamping his streaming URL on the barrel. Goldfish are squeezed by workers shortly after hatching to determine their strength. A weak goldfish will not be able to resist, and their guts will pop out, killing them instantly. This ore's flavor is cookies and cream. But first they delicately scrape bits from an incredibly rusty and unclean packaging machine, enhancing their flavor. Down below in the mine, workers use a machine called a mucker to move rocks and recreate their favorite episodes of Neon Genesis Evangelion. Unhappy fish are sometimes provided a shot of rum to calm their surly tempers. You can't see it very well in this shot, but on the other side of that hole are hundreds of communist revolutionaries. Thanks to this design, the ice cream is placed between wafers using a shuffling machine, which, once decommissioned, will be integrated into the back room of many Las Vegas casinos. A muscular bodybuilder blows carbon dioxide into the fish egg containers off camera, helping them to grow up big and strong like he is. If the goldfish drink enough rum, they eventually metamorphosize into koi, which are a larger, equally Asian type of fish. Successful batches of ice cream are heated and stirred to kill bacteria until they become roughly 70% sanitized, indicating they're now fit for human consumption. As you can see, the metal parts are now tarnished and ruined, but the factory has a quota to make, so they continue production, and locked inside an interrogation room. The diamond wafers are then shown photos of unsolved cold cases from around the world, and are bombarded by many leading questions. This causes the diamonds to change shape from the intense heat and pressure. After about 3 minutes of mixing, this batch has been deemed a failure, and is sealed away for eternity, protecting all of mankind. After deeming it safe, the diamond rock is set on a polishing wheel to give it its classic diamond shape, wasting a good 30% of the diamond. It all begins with liquid ice. The factory stores it in refrigerated silos set just a few degrees above freezing. Through sheer dumb luck, the laser destruction process exposes a near-flawless gem hidden beneath. A week later, the eggs hatch and try to impregnate the first thing they see. Okay guys, off the record, that green stuff is totally liquid weed. But don't tell the Science Channel or they'll cut our funding again. Another worker delicately lowers the parts into a vat of molten salts. But upon hearing that his pension plan has been cut, he slams the parts into a vat of cold water and storms out of the factory. Since no one on Earth is possibly that stupid, the diamond failure is put back into the laser capsule to be destroyed. They're given their pick of the litter for a fine bowl of goldfish soup, and then the rest are shipped off to the market. Then, another worker squeezes some air out of the bag, because this factory is entirely mismanaged. As the fry increase in size, they're taken on a trip to a fish water park. You know the gold is 99% pure when it weighs more than a set of gold weights. An expert geologist is routinely called in to inspect them. After hours of study, he can safely conclude that this is a rock. Sometimes some liquid gold is poured out for any workers who are feeling thirsty. Unfortunately, according to this map, New Zealand still exists. Workers are quick to point this out, taunting the viewers. Ooga booga booga. Now for the most arousing part of the production line, an injection of hot liquid caramel. The silos feed a high-speed mixer, which combines the ice with its other primary ingredient, dried cream. This much sugar is the amount used for just one ice cream. This worker here has a death wish. A technician readies a gun on the hidden diamond in case this act goes against the will of God. And the finished product is lovingly dumped onto our big metal slab because our production crew was too stupid to remember to get a bowl, and were originally meant to be an edible stand-in for playing cards. Finally, you may be surprised to hear this, but the ice cream sandwiches are loaded into boxes. I stand corrected. The actual most arousing part of the production is the chocolate-flavored liquid topping squirter. A worker adds helium to the bag so it will float away to its destination. In the mine, workers drill air holes for explosives, with what's called a drill that makes air holes for explosives machine drill. Then the finishing touch, the mystery ingredient, sponsored by Purina. This is all done, of course, in a mine! A blind man is put in charge of watching the smelting process, since his eyesight will not be damaged by the intense flames. The smelter is rotated to keep any would-be thieves at bay, and the fire rages out of control. Those dumbasses. At the factory, workers check to make sure the fish are happy. The tiny net is surefire. A tiny net is a death sentence. It is a net, and it's tiny. The fish are then carefully and delicately sorted by size for retail. We won't be showing you how this part is made because we have to edit it out for time. If a cylinder comes out to be dimensionally perfect, it is hoisted up as the king of cylinders. Hitting them with a tiny hammer is one of the industry's best trade secrets. Now it's time to install the cylinder that holds the cartridges. Little known fact, these cylinders are made of pure zebra teeth, which are known for their combination of durability and flexibility. Back at the mill, the rock stock rocks and knocks around the clock till it looks like chalk, chock full of flocks of blocks. Chemicals lock into the dock, pulping the rock into schlock. This concoction seen here is known as deadly pudding. Most revolvers hold 6 shots, which is more than enough to kill anything that moves. Finally, the fish are jammed into a styrofoam box, which helps insulate their screams of terror once the cannabis wears off. This is a map of everywhere in the world gold has been discovered. He tightens the barrel to the gun frame, and then jams a stick all up in there because, I don't know, whatever. The technician reenacts his favorite high school fantasies. This revolver is now ready for its target market. People who have about 30 other guns already. Diamonds grown in labs are very shiny, except the ones that aren't, and look incredibly shiny compared to a number 2 pencil. The block is screwed onto a threaded arm and brought into a game of industrial hungry hippos. Weights are applied to make sure no one pussies out mid-game. clear, and is now ready for a steampunk wannabe to create the world's most expensive waffle. After just 2 weeks, the diamond slivers become a miraculous pile of worthless rocks. Lower grade diamonds, also known as rocks,